What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here, and welcome to Keeley Month on Stompbox Saturday. And to kick off this month of festivities, we are starting with the Filaments, the new high-gain amp-like distortion from the crew at Keeley Electronics. You know, when I talked to Robert at NAMM, he was definitely of the mindset that the amp guys are starting to invade the pedal world because, quite frankly, as freight and shipping costs have gotten higher and the money from touring has gotten smaller, there needs to be more portable solutions for every guitar player to be able to get their sound. And all the big amp guys are trying their game at pedals. Where he got tired of that, and he and his crew worked out the Filaments, which definitely has to be the best feeling amp-style distortion pedal that I've played in a very long time. And it's very simple to operate and has a ton of tones packed into this very pedalboard friendly package. So let's take a look at the controls and see what we can get out of them. You have 6 knobs and 3 toggle switches. Knobs for level, presence, gain, bass, body, and treble. And then the 3 switches, boost, bright, and crunch. Now each of those switches really affects the way that the gain structure works and the EQ works and just what you can really get out of it. Now, what I think would be good is to start out with all the knobs at noon and all the switches off. So I'm going to turn on the pedal into a clean amplifier, my orange Rocker Verb 100, and we're going to see the range of those knobs and get sort of an idea of what they're doing to affect the overall sound of it. I'll let your ears be the judge, and I'll offer my 2 cents here and there. Now with the crunch switch off, we get a very compressed sound, so I'm going to go ahead and up the level a little bit. Here we go. let's check out the toggle switches. Let's start with the boost. Now, to better demonstrate that, I'm going to back the gain down to about 9 o'clock on the dial. This gives just a little bit of extra juice to that preamp gain. Cool. Now let's check out the bright, which is going to give us just a little bit more shimmer and gleam over the top. Might come in handy if you're playing a dark guitar through a dark amplifier. Help that EQ structure. All right, now crunch. We're going to need to back off the volume a little bit because when you flick the crunch switch on, it opens up the pedal a little bit. It gets a little less compressed in the gain and has a little bit more perceived mid-range. So you're going to hear it and it's going to be a little bit louder. Sounds a lot fuller and it sounds louder. So, with 3 switches and 6 knobs, there is tons that we can do to get any kind of sound that we want. So, let's go ahead and do that, and maybe we'll even throw in a couple different guitars too. Now with this setting, I'm going for something in the old school vein of a cranked amplifier, but I'm also going old school in the way that I've set the EQ, using the crunch and the brightness for that full mid-range, but also so that when I roll the volume back on the neck pickup, I get a nice clean tone, and then we go to the bridge pickup for the full-on dirty stuff. Let's check it out. What I really love about the Filaments is how well it reacts to different types of guitars. We just had a Les Paul, and now we have my Ramos Kevstar, which, as you can tell, is a custom Tele-style guitar, with your typical Telecaster accoutrement, if you will. But I've dialed in a setting that I think really lends itself well to using the Telecaster as a rock instrument, which you don't typically see. Now I've dialed in a little bit more body and a little bit more gain so that we make up for that otherwise thin sounding single coil. And I am going to roll the tone back a little bit. First a Les Paul, then a Kevstar Telecaster. Now, the Chapman ML7. This pedal does a very good job with the high gain modern metal stuff. Now, we're going to experiment with the body knob here to really get the kind of sound that we're going for. The cool thing with the body knob is that it handles those frequencies that make the tone feel tighter or looser. So, we'll go ahead and turn on the pedal. We'll go real chuggy on the low strings, and I'll go ahead and turn that knob so that we can find that sweet spot where it's tight, but it's full. Nice, you know, baby bear setting. It's just right. There you have it, everybody. That is the Filaments from Keeley Electronics. Their entry into the amp in a box category of pedals that we all know and love. And I gotta say, this thing fits right along where I need an amp-like pedal to be. It can get me that high gain sound that I need for the music that I write, but it's got a usable amount of gain that I can get really any kind of sound that I want, from classic to modern. And that is a very welcome thing. And the fact that it is a very nice size and is not as complex as it seems, it's a breeze to dial in a tone and a joy to play. And what more could you want in a pedal? But hey, that's just me. I want to know what you guys thought. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought of the Filaments. Be sure you click that subscribe button when you see the floating bubble so you don't miss out on the Keeley month fun. And until next week, my friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.